All right, we're going to get started. Can you all see my screen? Okay, great. So welcome to the Montana Harvest of the Month mini grant training. First, we're just going to do some welcome and intros, then we'll go over the Harvest of the Month basics. That might be super repetitive for some of you, but a lot of the sites receiving the mini grants are relatively new. We'll talk about resources and then do the mini grant overview, and this should be pretty short, so we'll have time for questions. So I'm Molly Kirkham. I'm the Montana Local Food Specialist at NCAT. I co-coordinate Harvest of the Month with Aubrey Roth at Montana Team Nutrition MSU. My contact information is there. So now I want to hear from you. I just want to hear your name, business or organization, your area, your favorite way to eat chickpeas because it's the end of chickpea month. And then we're just going to do it popcorn style. So Allie Thornton, do you want to go first? And then will you just pass it off to someone?
Sure, I'm happy to go first. I'm Allie. I'm with Gallatin Valley Farm to School, and I'm in the Bozeman area. And my favorite way to eat chickpeas is roasted over a salad. And I'm going to do Ashley Clark.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Clark. I'm over at Missoula Food Bank and Community Center. I'm the Child Nutrition Program Coordinator. My favorite way to eat chickpeas, I'm obsessed with a beet chickpea kale salad right now. Oh, sorry. And I'll go to Whitney Pratt.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Whitney Pratt. I work for Left Hand Montana. We're a nonprofit up in the Flat Valley. And we just finished making chickpea salad with kids. So I'm going to say that is my favorite way to eat chickpeas. And I will pass it to Linda McCabe.
Hi, I'm Linda McCabe, and I'm on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation in Poplar, and I teach family and consumer sciences. And yeah, we just finished some hummus tasting, and my favorite way to eat chickpeas is hummus or on a salad as well. And is there anyone else to pass it to?
How about Ellie?
Ellie, okay.
Hello, I'm Ellie Lands. I work for Riverstone Health. I'm a prevention health specialist here in Billings, Montana. We just finished taste testing roasted chickpeas at one of our county schools. And so, yeah, I love a good just roasted chickpea with some good spices on it. So excited to be here. Thank you.
And then Mandy, I think you're the last person.
I am Mandy Bell. I volunteer with the farmers market at Libby in Libby, Montana. I also have a catering business called The Gracious Table. And my favorite way to have chickpeas has to be in hummus with lots of tahini. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Cool. Then we are just going to get started. So not everyone could be here today, so I did want to go over the other recipients of the grant. So it's the Farmers Market at Libby, Fast Blackfeet, Gardner Public Schools, Gallatin Valley Farm to School, Landahan, Missoula Food Bank and Community Center, Poplar Middle School, Riverstone Health, and St. Peter's Health. So now we're just going to go through the basics a bit. These organizations that serve on the Harvest of the Month board and help coordinate the program. We meet quarterly to make programmatic decisions and discuss updates. They also review and contribute content to all of the materials that we create through the program. The Montana Harvest of the Month program showcases Montana grown and raised foods in Montana schools, institutions, organizations, and businesses. I like to highlight that the two primary goals of this program are to promote local, healthy foods to Montanans and to support Montana farmers, ranchers, and food businesses. Each month, participating sites focus on promoting one locally grown item by serving it in at least one meal, snack, or a la carte offering, and displaying or distributing Harvest of the Month materials. Additionally, schools and early care and education settings participate by offering taste tests to students and doing educational lessons and activities. So I want to emphasize that this is the timeline for the Harvest of the Month program, not this specific grant program. Our program years are August to July, and you can register at any time of the year. Once you register, you need to complete the baseline to receive a tangible packet of materials. But when you register, you do have access to all the digital materials before completing that baseline. And then at the end of the year, around June, you need to complete the end of year report to re-enroll in the program and receive any new materials that were created that year. So Harvest of the Month provides a free packet of materials, that's posters, handouts, and table tents. And then digitally, you have access to recipes, videos, guides, and resources, Harvest of the Month in action examples, relevant events, and funding opportunities. We're always here for technical assistance. We send out monthly newsletters, and then we run mini grant programs such as these. And then you receive a Harvest of the Month participant tag on your Abundant Montana listing. This lets producers and distributors know that you are possibly interested in purchasing local foods. And on the flip side, it also lets Harvest of the Month sites know which producers participate in the program. So who to reach out to if they want to participate in a field trip or come give a talk or tutorial or interested in selling local foods. This is what a food resource page looks like on the site. From this page, you can access posters and table tents, Cafeteria Bites handouts, which are how to focus on recipes and food preparation. Harvest of the Month at Home handouts, which provides helpful info for home, like buying tips, book suggestions, gardening, and recipes scaled for 6 servings. And then the classroom handout, which includes an activity for students. And then an editable calendar and serving lines sign. These are good for cafeterias. Recipe cards, and on the back of these is a cute graphic if you print them. And then content and graphics for your social media and newsletters. These are already made for you to use. You can just copy and paste and use the graphics however you want. So this is the current Harvest of the Month calendar, but it will probably change for the 2023-2024 year, which is coming up pretty quickly. Following the calendar is a suggestion. It's not a requirement. Whatever works for your site is fine. If you can't find a certain item, I recommend going to the retired items and see if you can find one of those to replace that month, or just switching up the calendar, however it works for you. When sites register, they choose the site type that best reflects them. That's producer, healthcare, business and community, early care and education, or K-12. And then now we're going to go over the K-12 requirements really quickly. Participating K-12 sites must form a team, showcase the item each month, promote and evaluate. Each month, you will need to showcase the featured food in a meal or snack. You will also need to conduct an educational activity with at least one group of students, and include it in a taste test using the Tried It, Liked It, Loved It voting system. And then as well as promote the program and the featured food. And then of course, all sites must participate in evaluation. This just helps with future funding and see the impacts of the program. Early care and education requirements are super similar, just usually on different scales. Early care and education sites must showcase each month in a meal or snack, participate in a taste test, host an educational activity, and they also must promote the program. So I do want to have a special focus on business and community sites for this, since many of you fall under that category. This includes grocery stores, food pantries, farmers markets, restaurants, and colleges and universities, and also non-food service sites like university extension, libraries, community development centers, CACFP service providers, 4-H, FFA, and other clubs. These sites will form a team, showcase each month, promote, and evaluate. It looks different for each of these business and community sites just based on their structural differences. So for example, this is what a team might look like for, say, it's like a farmer's market. You might have MSU extension, vendors, a market master or manager, community or a community health organization. And then any of these folks can be the team lead. It's just whoever wants to take on most of the planning and organizing. And it depends on the site, how your business and community site will showcase. A library may showcase through an educational activity, while a food bank would probably offer samples or taste tests to their customers, whatever works for that specific site. And then business and community sites will also promote by giving out materials, including Harvest of the Month in social media, and then including on sites and newsletters. And of course, business and community sites will also participate in evaluation. Our baseline and end of year reports are catered towards each audience group, so the questions will vary based on what kind of site you are. Hi, Anna. And then, so this is just an example of how different sites might implement Harvest of the Month. This by no means need to be followed, but for example, like I've worked with food pantries that do cooking classes. They do local food procurement and distribution. They also will offer samples and taste tests. Some will have Harvest of the Month activities, and then they'll display posters and handing out materials, while University Extension and other organizations might just partner with those sites that serve food and help them implement Harvest of the Month at that specific site. So here are some examples of business and community sites participating in Harvest of the Month. This is North Valley Food Bank offering beet brownies to their customers. And then in the middle picture is St. Peter's Health with a Harvest of the Month booth at the Helena Farmers Market. And O'Hara Commons administered a taste test to their customers and handed out recipe cards during Lentil Month. Healthcare sites are encouraged to implement Harvest of the Month at their facilities by serving the item in their cafeterias and cafes, promoting and doing taste tests. But often they have staff promoting health in the community, so they implement Harvest of the Month outside of that specific healthcare facility. And they do this at schools, farmers markets, clinics, ECE sites, and anywhere they really want to. And they showcase often by hosting cooking classes, participating in taste tests, and helping administer educational activities. Harvest of the Month producers are encouraged to use posters, handouts, recipe cards, and videos to promote and educate staff and customers about Harvest of the Month. They must offer at least one Harvest of the Month item throughout the year. This could be a value-added product containing one of those items, like jam or something. And they should have an interest in sharing knowledge and expertise with Montana students and communities, whether that's through field trips or tutorials or workshops, and they should be compensated for those activities. And they are promoted to Harvest of the Month sites via the site, newsletters, and Abundant Montana listings. These are just a few recommendations we tell participants. Forming a team helps with staff turnover and also takes the load off of implementing the program individually. Partnering with other sites in your community can help. I really want to emphasize easing into Harvest of the Month to do what you can. This is probably like the most important thing. I know I just went over all the requirements of the program, but that's just like if it was implemented perfectly. We encourage sites to just do what they can. For instance, like a lot of schools might not necessarily partner with their cafeteria. Maybe it's the FCS teacher implementing Harvest of the Month, and they will do educational activities and taste tests, but the food might not be served in the cafeteria, and that's completely okay. Just do what you have the capacity for. We recommend document your Harvest of the Month activities, feature Harvest of the Month in your newsletters, make sure all staff know about the program. Creating a consistent schedule of taste tests, activities, serving it in the cafeteria can help. Read the newsletters because there are a lot of good opportunities in there. And then follow on social media, Harvest of the Month, and these other resources that promote local foods, and post on social media. And then here are just a couple of resources. Obviously, MontanaHarvestMonth.org, the Montana Farm to School site, in Abundant Montana. I'm sure you all know what it is, but it's like the best resource for finding local food in the state. All right, so that was Harvest of the Month as a program. Now I want to go over specifically this mini grant. Did anybody have any questions about Harvest of the Month in general? Okay, cool. So the grant period, with a few delays and everything, it'll probably start, it's like May 1st when you guys will have your funds. So that's 5 months. The purpose is to fund projects that encourage family engagement and or youth leadership and Harvest of the Month activities. And for us, obtain feedback from sites on the benefits, challenges, and opportunities associated with participation in Harvest of the Month. Mini grantees will receive financial incentive, $1,000 per site, and technical assistance. So you guys can reach out to us whenever if you need any assistance implementing Harvest of the Month. I know you guys have these requirements on your mini grant agreements, but I am going to go over them just to reiterate them. So funds must be used for the purposes outlined in your mini grant proposal. All funds must be spent by October 1st, 2023 to support activities in this proposal and within grant guidelines. With this being said, I know that sometimes we reach barriers and things need to change. I'll go over it in a little bit more detail later, but we can make changes if that's necessary, whether it's an extension or changes to your project plan. Grantees must attend a virtual training, and complete a verbal progress check-in during the grant period. I recommend when I send out the recording to send it out to other folks on your team. It'll just be easier for me, you, and everyone. The Harvest of the Month team will establish a meeting schedule that consists of at least 3 meetings in the grant period. The meetings are designed to strengthen collaboration and plan for a check process in response to Harvest of the Month activity. Grantees must keep record of the number of adults and youth who participate in mini grant activities. That'll be reported on your end of your report. So I recommend just really keeping track of that. Grantees must submit content such as photos, videos, and descriptions of their Harvest of the Month activities. The content should come with photo releases and a photo sharing agreement. I'll show you where everything is on this site in a couple slides, but that's super important because we will want to use these photos on Harvest of the Month materials, like in the portal, the newsletter, and on our social media. A final report, including a summary of how funds were expended, must be completed and submitted by October 31st, so 30 days after that grant deadline. It's a pretty simple final report. And then you must just meet all regular Harvest of the Month requirements to the best of your ability, so reporting and everything. So here's a little timeline. Right now, you'll begin grant activities. July 2023, we'll schedule a verbal progress check-in. October 1st, all grant activities should have been completed and all funds should have been spent. And then 30 days after that, all final reports are submitted. And next to that, I have a little checklist. Just these are all the things that should get done during your grant period. So I have meet with your team 3 times on there, a verbal progress check-in, sending in your content, spending all funds, and completing the final report. So a verbal progress check-in will be anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, depending on if you're having trouble or have any questions. These are the kind of questions I will ask you. And then I could just help if like you've had any project changes or you have any concerns. So it'll be super simple. I'll just email you guys to schedule like a short meeting and it can go however long you need. So the content, on the right, I have a perfect example of what we would like to see. So photos of your Harvest of the Month activities with a super short description of what you did, kind of what the outcomes were, how the audience group reacted to the activity. These will go on our site pretty much looking exactly like this. So yeah, perfect example of one of the content submission. So I want 2 of these throughout the grant period. Photos, videos, graphics, must include a short description, photo releases, and a photo sharing agreement. And then if you have any if you want more examples, you can go to the Harvest of the Month in Action page and see what I post on there, because those are great examples. All right, I'm going to click on this page to show you where you can find all these resources. All right, can you see this? Okay, so when this is done, I'll upload the training video and the PowerPoint. You can find that timeline and checklist here. The final report link here, the photo release and photo sharing agreements. And then the grant agreement is just here because it has the requirements. So if you need to review any of those. So super simple. This should be everything you need. It'll be up on this menu. Depending on what happens with the program, like if I have more events and everything, I might move this to the about section. So you can see the mini grant program prior to this is under about. So it's kind of hidden. So just, if you can't see it here, just highlight. Okay. Reminders, send this training video to all team members. If you need to make changes to the work plan you submitted in your application, send me an email with the proposed changes and we can set up a call to go over them. And then also if you need an extension, just email me. And I do want to share an upcoming event. So we have our second Farm to School workshop, Harvesting Helena, on August 10th. We just had one in Gardner. It was like the most fun thing ever. Anna Holloway on this call at Gardner Public Schools hosted it in partnership with me and like MSU. It was so fun. So I recommend coming if you can. CEUs and ECP credits will be offered. And then we'll be sending out like a promotion guide soon for you to promote the program. And that's all I have. I'm going to stop sharing. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, well, great. Yeah, send this to your team members. If they have any questions, they can email or call me and we can get those sorted out. And I will be sending an email with this recording and the slides to you, and it'll also be linked on the page I just showed you.
Molly, I do have a quick question. Do we need to establish a separate social media account for Harvest of the Month for the mini grant, or can we put that on our farmers market?
I think farmers market would be great. Any social media accounts that you feel appropriate, but no, you don't need to start a new one.
And our vendors will all share it too. Well, not all of them, but the ones that are appropriate for vegetables our farmers will share it. Our team. So that
yeah, helps. That's perfect.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a good Friday. Nice to see you guys.
Thanks, Molly.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Molly.
Thank you, Molly.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Molly.
Yeah.